We are checking our connection on Instagram, and we're live here with you on YouTube and Facebook. Hello, hello, wild dreamers.
Hello, everyone.
Instagram is not quite up just yet. It's checking the connection for whatever that means, but we're here with you live today on the last day of November,
Woohoo!
almost the beginning of, beginning of December, which is the very, very last little 4 to 5 weeks of our holiday extravaganza, and things start to pick up speed, don't they?
Yeah, it feels like just yesterday my husband said, okay, so that was Halloween. Now the rest
Right?
is coming, and we're already after Thanksgiving.
It's wild. It's wild. It's crazy. And
But
hopefully,
okay, there we go. I see it's live now on IG.
yeah, we're live on IG now. Something happened there, but now we're live. Um, but hopefully you've gone ahead and pre-gamed your holiday like we did, and with your Rock the Holidays book,
Yes.
um, gone ahead and just followed our advice. If you've been following us for the last Thursdays, the last live IG Thursdays, then you know that we really are all about planning. We're really all about you prioritizing, holy moly, prioritizing yourself, saving time, and achieving your goals. And if one of your goals is to have a less stressful holiday, we hope you're having that.
Right. Because if you don't plan the holiday season you want, how do you expect to get the holiday season you want?
Right.
So
exactly.
In productivity, there's an adage that 1 minute of planning saves you 10 minutes of doing. And I definitely see the benefits of that myself, which includes the fact that we've already started the decorating around our house because we like to have the tree up, our Christmas tree up the same, weekend right after Thanksgiving.
Same.
Because just gets to maximize it.
100%, especially since we're not at our home for actual Christmas. So it's really nice to have that, in the space and be festive and so forth, because we're not going to be here for actual Christmas. We always go see my folks back in on the East Coast. And so it's just nice to, to have that up and ready. And as, if you've been around us before, you know that I'm definitely what the 4 tendencies, Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies, I'm definitely an obliger. So I often will get my motivation from outside of myself. And I also, there's other reasons why having external pressures or deadlines, real or imagined, helped me get things done. And so normally we do have a holiday party the Sunday after Thanksgiving, which then forces us to go ahead and decorate all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then have that party. It didn't work out this way this year because my husband had a milestone birthday right before Thanksgiving. He always has a birthday before Thanksgiving, but it's a milestone. So we had a little bit different priorities. So it's going to be this Sunday. And let me tell you, it's been great. It's been awesome. We get everything ready to go. It's also a tree trimming party. Yes. So friends to come over and do some of the work for us.
That's Natasha's evil plan, is we decorate the tree for her.
Lights are on, the garland and you hang an ornament on the tree, right? Any of the really, really special ornaments that are like special to our family, like we'll put those on ahead of time. We'll kind of like, if there's like one baby's first Christmas, my son put, my corresponding son puts those ornaments on. But anything else, we just have our friends do it. And this year, Allegra, we finally pulled the trigger and we got a brand new actually, artificial tree, which at first it was like difficult for me to even just get an artificial tree initially, because my mom is from Germany and it is like, you have real mounds.
Yeah.
Mounds or nothing. And I'll tell you that when we first moved to this house, because when we were in our other apartment, we would get real trees. And we moved to this house and we were like, okay, since we're not even here for Christmas, like, should we buy a real tree? Like, let's just get it. Right. So we were so strapped for cash when we first moved into this house. I bought a used pre-lit Christmas tree on Craigslist for $75. And we've been using it for the last 9 years. That thing has been well loved. Like after that first Christmas, it was only like half lit anyway, right? You'd have to light half. After that first Christmas we had it, the whole thing was not pre-lit anymore.
Oh, wow.
Right. And that was about a 7-foot tree. So we went ahead and we got a 9-foot tree because we have very tall ceilings in our living room and it is gigantic. I mean, the footprint is the same. Like I made sure the footprint was the same as the like that it didn't get wider because we did not have the space in our living room for it to be bigger. But it is tall. And my little guy, who's usually it's his job to put the star on the top, he's like, how star up there? Like, we're gonna have to use a ladder, honey. This year. So it's super, it's just nice. It's, you know, it's in our living room right now. It's lit up right now. I know it's 9 a.m, but in the morning I get up and I go, Alexa, and boom, all the lights go on, and like it's on.
You do not. You say Merry Christmas and it turns on the lights.
Yeah, you can program your Alexa to say. So I have 2 different smart plugs. Yeah, it's awesome.
That is so awesome.
Yeah,
it's like, that reminds me of something that I just learned. Same thing, right? If you have an iPhone, you can say Siri. What's the term? Lumos.
Yeah,
you can say Lumos. And it'll turn on the flashlight. And if you say Knox, it'll turn it off. So it totally reminds me of that. It's so funny.
I know, it's awesome. So I've programmed, there's 2 smart plugs. One runs the lights on the garland that's running up the stairs, and one runs the tree. And so if I just say Merry Christmas, it turns both of them on.
Gosh, that is so awesome.
So fun.
Y'all program. I don't have a smart switch strip, but if you do, you got it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And they're not like those smart plugs are like, you can buy like a pack of 4 for like $20 now. Like they're super cheap now, right? They're not expensive. And I'm telling you,
it's so awesome.
We have a bunch of lights, you know, that are set up to the smart, to Alexa and stuff. And it's like, it's gotten a little bit crazy because like, you know, it's just like, you know, you feel kind of bossy. You're like, just like, turn it off.
Please.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. But it's fun to say that in the morning. And then this giant tree, it's all lit up. No ornaments on it yet, but on Sunday it'll be all decorated. It'll be fun.
Well, and for those of you who are joining us for the first time, or maybe you've joined us many times, we have started uploading these lives to our podcast, which you can find anywhere you stream podcasts, the Beyond Your Wildest Dreams podcast. So if you want to listen again on audio only, or if you know people that you've been wanting to tell about us, but they don't watch video, they prefer audio, now that's going to be available. So,
and you get a chance to listen. You don't have to scroll back through the Instagram feed or the Facebook or whatever. You can just, you can follow us on whatever platform you listen to podcasts, and you'll get a nice little 30-minute snippet with tips, tricks, things that are going on in the world at that moment.
Mm-hmm. And we have a special 20-minute that we just uploaded like 10 days ago, which is a podcast version of us running through our tips in Rock Your Holidays. We didn't get through all of them because we wanted to keep it to 20 minutes, but the majority of Rock Your Holidays is now a podcast. So go listen to that.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's, you know, December is upon us tomorrow. It's still not too late to just kind of map out your December and beginning of January, right? It's not too late. Don't think, oh gosh, I'm already halfway through the holiday season. There's still a lot coming up that you can now put in for that will help make it smoother, right? And just kind of like have the holiday season that you really want to have, right? That you're committed to having. I do have to say, this is like a sidebar tip. My whole family is flying back east, and it just kind of worked out. Like, it just made the most sense for me to fly on one carrier with miles, and it was a much cheaper flight to pay cash on another carrier. So I'm going by myself. One airplane. It just so happens that we depart and arrive within 30 minutes of each other too. So it's like, it's not a big, but I was like, I was like, what? Mommy's going to just because there's just something about being on an airplane by yourself. It's like it's its own little mini vacation.
Yes, definitely.
I kind of wish we were doing it on the way back home too. But we're only, but it is like, I'm going to get like a nice 5.5, 6 hours of just me time. And the boys are super happy to fly with dad too, because they fly with me solo a lot. So it'll probably be to fly with dad. Anywho, that's pro tip. If your kids are old enough.
That is so funny. Yeah, because you don't think about there's just like a lot of mental stuff going on. Even just if you need to use the restroom, and you go through the mental calculation of, is my child old enough to sit here by themselves without me, or do they have to come with me? Or when they have to go to the restroom, are they old enough to go to the bathroom? Like, there's a whole mental risk assessment you do,
Right.
that you don't have to do when you travel by yourself.
When you travel by yourself. Yeah. It's just, you don't have to be like, do you have snacks? Did you remember your stuffy? Did you have your
Yeah.
shoes? You know, but obviously your kids have to be old enough
Yes.
to leave them, you know, to travel with someone else, or just, you know, at home with your.
But it makes such a huge difference. You know, people who don't have kids, I know when I didn't have kids, I didn't think about that mental load of doing that constant risk analysis you have to do when you have other little bodies that you're responsible for.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, you got to get your kid, you got to get your toddler and your carry-on into that bathroom stall before you get on the plane, and make sure, like, we also would do, like, if we had a layover and it was like later in the night, then I'd change them into pajamas and do all that kind of stuff to like try to like encourage them to sleep on the plane. Totally backfired one year on me. It was like literally the worst life. The worst flight of my life. That's for another time. But, you know, like all those things of like, okay, I have to fit both of my kids and my carry-on in this stall so that I can pee, you know what I mean, when I traveled alone with them. Also some other really good hacks on how to attach your car seat, because they will let you bring car seats on to the cabin. Attach the car seat to your roll. It becomes like a stroller, and you don't have to have like a separate, like, you know, stroller for the. It's just, and they love it too. It's the most
yeah, there's like that go. There was a product that we had where it made the car seat basically like a stroller. It was called a go something or other. I forget.
I did it myself with like some what do you call it? Those carabiners and stuff, and you use the safety straps, and just because I saw that product, I was like, we could do that on our own. So
nice.
And the kids loved it. They thought it was the coolest thing ever. They were so excited to be in that thing.
So for many people, part of the December holiday season includes gift giving.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, where are you with your gift purchasing?
So I think I might have mentioned this before. I do have like a little gift spreadsheet just to make sure that I know everybody's bases are covered, as far as, because I have not only ourselves purchasing gifts for my kids, but also my sister and her husband and my parents. And, you know, we do the whole Amazon wish list thing for physical gifts. And then and her husband love to give more experiential type things too. So I just loaded into the spreadsheet just to make sure that A, there's not duplicates, B, you know, with two kids, and, you know, if you have more than one sibling out there, if you got kids, more than one kid out there, it's often like, you're gonna be fair. You know what I mean? You don't want kids to be one, you know, one more, or, you know, a bigger present. So I would say that we're more than halfway there as far as like being complete. My dad's the easiest to shop for. He just wants the same thing every year. Just very happy. He's very practical.
What is that?
He has like an electric razor, and like the replacement heads on that are like, you know, he wants a new replacement head for that. This is my dad. But my whole life, he's been like, Dad, what do you want for Christmas? Oh, new socks and underwear. I'm like, here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to buy you underwear. You know what I mean? He's like, I just want some new socks and underwear. Like, very practical, very like, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what I get him, that same, you know, we go through this whole like, oh, what could it be? Oh, thank you. You know what I mean? That is what he wants. And my parents often say, like, we have everything. Please don't, you know, go crazy.
Right.
I think so. I would say we're more than halfway there. I have to go actually update the spreadsheet today. Thank you for reminding me. My mom just texted me that she got something for one of my kids, and I was like, oh, I better put it in the spreadsheet.
Well, I like to get things that people will consume. So either food things or like soap. And I go to a couple of holiday boutiques at nonprofits that I really like to go to. And so I'll pick things up there. Oh, I just scratched my microphone like crazy, probably. And so I got some really great like hand creams and soaps, and you know, I like, when it comes to big gifts, I don't like to buy a gift unless, like, this is kind of like my little like mental rule of thumb, unless it sings to me, meaning like, you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
When you see something that is perfect for somebody, it does that. And I'm like, other than that, we don't really, what's the point of getting a big gift that is just something that they may or may not use? And so it was recently my mom's birthday, and she has already told us, if you all want to make me something, or give me something like soap or cream or whatever, that's fine. But like, she's like, there's nothing that I want, right?
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no stuff that I want. But I was walking through the store, and literally it was like a spotlight, like,
Yes, I've had that happen to me with gifts where you're just kind of like, yeah, go ahead.
I must get this.
Yes.
And so I took a picture of it. I sent it to my siblings. I said, hey, mom's birthday, what do you think? I think it'd be perfect in this one specific area of her house. And they were like, yes, let's do it. Yes, let's do it. And then because they were here for Thanksgiving, we gave it to her in front, and she was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. So that was really fun, and that's gonna be like, it was like birthday, Christmas sort of thing, which
That's
yeah,
things like that. I've had that happen, like I've had that happen. Like I have a friend, I don't know why this thing called to me. It was like a teak bowl. They were at Trader Joe's, actually. It was just the last Christmas season. They had these sets of teak bowls, and it was just like this little cutesy little, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know why I'm buying this for her.
but it's singing to you.
Right. And then, so I hadn't given it to her yet. And then I was in Sur la Table for something else, for somebody else, for some kind of hostess gift or whatever. And they had this little teak spoon that was like a perfect match. And I was like, oh, okay. And I gave this to her, and I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know why these two items called to me. She flipped out over it. She's really into ASMR, like when you listen to the people doing the little
yeah.
Like, so she's like, I know what I'm gonna do with this. She put lentils in there, and she just stirs it. I mean, it's the weirdest thing, but this is my friend, right? She loves, and I was like, she's like, she'd call me, she'd be like, I'm using the spoon and the bowl, and I'm just like, you're so weird. Like they called, it was like, oh, buy this for her. And I was like, yeah. Hey, like if I thought about buying her something, I would have never been like, oh, it's matching spoon, like never. And then it just happened that those two items, like a couple days after each other, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. And it make a very nice sound, like when you she uses it like a singing. I don't know. It makes her happy, and she'll bring it up. She's like, I don't know what. She's like, it's just so happy, and I'm just like, so weird.
This is my little ASMR thing.
Oh, is that a stocking?
It's a stocking. And someone had it. So if you've heard us talk about the Buy Nothing group, our Buy Nothing group does junk in the trunk events, which is where you all meet at a parking lot and you just bring your stuff. So this I got at a junk in the trunk. I would never have bought this, right? But I just love going back and forth like this.
So if you're listening to us on the podcast, she's holding up a sequin stocking, and it's that one of those ones where if you pull it one way, it's all silver, and the other way, it's all rainbow sequins, and it's so fun. And the top has got like white fur on the top, and it is. I've always loved those shirts, right? You see like shirts, pillows, and my son's got a pillow where you do one way it's Iron Man and the other way it's Captain America, and he loves that.
Well, and we had a pillow like that for a while, but then my daughter was like, oh, I don't really like it anymore. And it really didn't fit anywhere else in the house. It was so big. When I saw this, I was like, okay, this is small enough. It literally sits in my drawer of my desk, and I just pull it out when I need a little like pick me up.
It's so funny. It's the little things, right? It's those little.
It is those little things.
And cheek spoons and the little sequin stockings make the world go round.
But we do, like, in general for our family, we do have the something you want, something you need, something you wear, something to read, which I just love as a, kind of as a general rule of thumb, because inevitably there's like things that have been percolating in people's minds, like, oh, there was a t-shirt I saw, or there was the whatever. And so I am done with that.
Yay, good. I'm not quite done with all of that, but yes. And we do an extra one, which is something experience, right? So like tickets to a museum, or that kind of thing. So we do that as well. We do those four, and something like something as a family we can experience.
And then the other thing we do in our family is that anything purchased after like Thanksgiving weekend and after that we don't need, right? Like pens, whatever, goes under the tree too. So for instance, during Thanksgiving weekend, we went to a powwow and we purchased some things and we're like, okay, going into the tree. As soon as the tree's up, going into the tree. So that's kind of like a nice way to just sort of, delay gratification a little bit.
Yeah.
And
totally delay gratification, and just also, just to recognize that like all year long, we are gifting each other, right? Because I think
right.
like this huge implication, and you have to have like massive amounts of presents underneath and all this kind of thing, and to just really be grateful for like all the things all throughout the year that these little gifties that you get to experience as well. Yeah.
And even I actually even started a little bit earlier because my daughter's library is overflowing. And there is a new book that came out. And usually I ask her to, if she's going to get a new book, she needs to donate one, to one of the little libraries in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
But because she asked in early November, I said, okay, but it's going under the tree when it gets here. And she said, okay. So yeah, like after November-ish, if it's not something that someone needs in a timely manner, consider holding it and putting it under the tree. I've been holding things since about October because I had ideas for things that I wanted to. And actually, here's a great tip. So there was something that I knew that I wanted to get my family. Sorry, I'm looking to make sure they're not listening, which is this thing.
Yeah.
You say it for the podcast because I can't say it. So I knew I wanted to get it. And there's this website called camelcamelcamel.com. And you can take links from Amazon and go to Camel Camel Camel, and it will track the price, and you can set a price alert. It will email you when it hits that price. It will also give you historical data on the price of that thing. So I looked at the last 12 months and I was like, okay, what was the lowest price last year? Okay, email me when it hits that price. It emailed me like before Thanksgiving. And I was like, okay, getting it.
Yeah.
And so then you get it the price you want. And so I just stockpiled it away into the little where I squirrel away gifts. So I figured around Thanksgiving it was going to go on sale.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
And so, doing a little planning ahead, and then it's like, okay, you have your big things and you got it at a great price.
Yes.
And it's dealt with. It's done.
Yep. Absolutely. We're not totally done. And and it's we do a lot of stuff. Obviously, I do a lot of purchasing online because we're not here for for Christmas itself. So it just gets automatically shipped to my folks, and so of course, Amazon becomes the default just because it's the easiest way to get the list out to everybody. Also, the easiest way to kind of just have everything shipped there as well. But getting to go to like a little gift fair or a boutique and stuff. I'm like, oh, that sounds so great. But then I'm like, then I have to pack it. Then I have to, you know what I mean? Like, and so, but little things like soaps and stuff, I can absolutely, that I could probably do. And I much prefer to buy locally if possible. It's just this time a little bit more challenging because then I have to pack it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's this whole other, challenge. But then also like for my little kid who goes through lip balms like crazy, like Trader Joe's has a really cute little holiday lip balm set right now. Yay. Yeah. So I got that. And, I feel like the most important thing in terms of holiday gifts is to set expectations. Right. And just say, hey, this is what we're going to do this year. Because there have been years where we've been like, hey, how about we do a trip instead of spending money on anything, over $50 or whatever. So have those conversations. It's great for everyone to be on the same page and to realize, there might be fewer trees there might be fewer presents under the tree this year because we're going to go do something experiential or whatever the case may be.
100%. Yeah. And the hardest is managing my little guy's expectations because he definitely, if that whole, a language of love thing is legit, his definitely gifts and gift giving, like he loves to give gifts and he loves to get gifts. Right. So this is, so when I often try to just because I want to kind of curb the craziness of the season when that Target catalog, the Target toy catalog comes in the mail. And then we also, you know, like you get like an Amazon toy catalog. Now Amazon's sending you toy
Right.
catalogs too.
Yes.
I try to just kind of whoop and into the
recycle immediately.
But often I'll send the kids. I'm like, oh, just go to the gift. I didn't realize how early it was going to come. So he came back from the mailbox and was like already circling things from the mailbox, which is in some ways it's fine because it gives me like a litmus test on like what he's really. But this kid will circle literally everything in the you know, everything in the catalog, you know, and dog ear it all, you know, and you know, put his initial next to it so as not to get confused with his brother. So and I'm always like, well. I'm like, the joy of this is that we just don't know which one of these things you're going to get. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I say that, you know, I say, oh, that's so great that you want all these things. And it's so fun that you're so excited about all this stuff. I'm like, so the big surprise on Christmas is you don't know which one of these you're going to get.
Right? That's a great way to handle it.
Because like, I'm like, you ain't getting all of this.
Right.
Like, just remember, like, you're not getting all of it. Right.
Yes.
And plus I think kids just, of course, kids get really excited. And so they start circling everything. And when we go to see my folks' house, they don't have Netflix and so forth. So my kids will just watch cable, and now commercials. Oh my God. And then they're like, I need this. I want that. I'm like, those commercials are
yes.
Yeah. Cause they often don't see commercials. Right. And then I need blah, blah, blah. And it's something that's marketed to kids 5 years younger than them. You know what I mean? They're like, I need it, you know, like,
yeah.
Conversation about need and want. And then we have, you know, but yeah, so that's the way I try to manage the expectation. I'm like, the big surprise is we don't know which one of these things you're going to get.
That is such a great way to frame that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, thank you for joining us. We will be here again next Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you for joining us. We'll be uploading these conversations every week, and feel free to watch us live if you want to sometime on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. We've also been tapped by the Nikki Medoro show as their mom life experts. And so we've been appearing on that show on YouTube a lot, which is a lot of fun.
And the most recent podcast that we just did with Elsa Elbert, go check her out, Composed Living Podcast. We're her guests on her latest podcast that just came out. So whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, Elsa Elbert, and the podcast title is Composed Living.
Yes. And you can also find all of this directly on our website, bywdreams.com. Under the like about us, there's a podcast and interviews tab. You can see all those. Elsa's is also available as a YouTube video to watch as well. So, and hey, if you need some stocking stuffers, our bouquet of books, as we like to call it.
Bouquet of books. They're all they're all quick reads, right? They're all managed, and they're workbooks. So it's about like getting in there and getting dirty, getting your hands dirty and making it happen. It's not theory.
Yeah. So the ebooks you can get on many platforms, but the paperbacks are only available on Amazon. You can find those again also through our website. So check those out, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great week.
Bye.